bring you up to date. So what the Nekuda? The Nekuda of the Maimer is that the Avodah is, it's all to explain how the whole Maimer begins. The Shal of the Maimer is to understand the Shemus of Ya'akov and Yisrael, and why Ya'akov endures even though his name was changed. So it's a whole beard in the Inyan of Shem. The Nekuda, the basic Nekuda, we're all familiar with this, that creation comes as a result of the most negligible ha'ara of Alikus, a great Yerida, as a result of Tzimtzum. That's the Inyan of Shemus, Ha'ariches, in that subject of Shemus and Midas and the Spheres. The Zohar says, what's the kavanah of Torah mitzvahs of the Bria? Litakona roza deshmei, to establish, to establish the mystery of his name. And that means that the whole Avodah is to be mamshich the mystery, the Eibishter beyond creator. Atzmusa yizborech, Ein Sof Lifnei Hatzimtzum, where into the Shem, into creation. There's a whole ariches in, which is the heart of the Maimer, in the meaning of Ki Havayu Hu Elikim. And the Nekuda was, he said that in the same way that there's two levels of Shem Havaya, Havaya de Le'elo and Havaya de L'Sata, and that's of course hinted in Hashem Ki Arachim Machanan, the repetition of Hashem Havaya twice. So too, there's two levels or two inyanim in Shem Elikim. And what that means is, amongst other things, I'm not going to repeat the whole arichas, it means like this. So Havaya Hu Elikim means that Elikim, we have to address this yet. So what's the two levels of Shem Havaya? Two levels of Shem Havaya, Havaya Haydin Ishtal Shalus, with, it doesn't say this in the Maimer, but there the emphasis would be the Haya Hayve V'yiyah Ke'echad, the meaning of Shem Havaya, the eternal one. And then there's the Havaya that's Nimshach in Ishtal Shalus, and there the emphasis is the Yud, the K, the Vav and the K, Yud Chachma, Hey Bina, Vav Midas, Hey Malchus. So, Havaya Hu Elikim means that there's the Yichud of Havaya and Elikim on both levels. There is Elikim, and the Chiddush therefore is, in Shem Havaya de Le'elo, there's already Shem Elikim, and in Elikim, as it is Tzimtzum, literal, Lamata, there's Shem Havaya. And what does this mean? So the essence of it all is, again, it's all about Hashem's desire for a relationship with us. So the revelation of His Koyach HaBligvul, as we addressed in one of the days, and I asked people to listen to it, you may have listened to it, the core chiddush here that the Rebbe is literally laboring, Chassidus labors to be megala and make reality. And that is, before Chassidus, even in Kabbalah, Eir Ein Sof is a given as the Shleimus. In fact, God is referred to that way. Eir Ein Sof Baruch Hu. Blessed be He on Eir Ein Sof, not on Atzmos. Eir Ein Sof Baruch Hu. On Atzmos, nobody spoke. Why? You can't talk about Atzmos. Because the time hadn't come. Because Atzmos, the Eibishter himself, in his essential Nisave, it's a whole process of him making himself available or investing himself in us, like any relationship. It evolves, gets deeper and deeper. Or ought to, a good relationship. Akoponim, so I'm saying that before Chassidus, like the Eir Ein Sof, that's the Metzius, that's godliness. Now what does that mean? So Eir Ein Sof, that's Elyon, that's the Maila. A Maila, that's revelation, that's his infinite revelation, that's Shleimus. And this world is tachten, and it's distant, and it's far. And why is it here? Basically, again, to earn our place up there. That's all. The whole chiddush of Havaya Hu Elikim, I mean, the pasuk says it, but the time has now come to us for us to understand its essential meaning, is, no, that Shem Havaya is also not a given. Eir Ein Sof? No. The Eibush is higher than Eir Ein Sof, higher than Creator, higher than Eir Ein Sof, per se. So why is there Eir Ein Sof? It all comes down to the core Nis'av HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's all because He desired a relationship with us. And therefore, now comes the point. In the Eir Ein Sof already, It's not like we would think. It's pure bli gvul, and gvul has no place there. And gvul is a chsaron, and it only emerges later. Despite Ohr Ein Sof, there is a tzimtzum and there's a tachten in order to appreciate the alien. In order to appreciate the alien, that's why there's a tachten. That's why things are classically understood. And he's saying no. That the Ohr Ein Sof l'chatchila carries with it the tzimtzum, because the whole point of the Ohr Ein Sof is that we should know him, and we can't know him if there's not going to be a tzimtzum. And then that tzimtzum produces a shame. That's true, only ha'orah. But invested in the shame is the roza d'shmei, which we unlock and connect to throughout to Torah mitzvahs. So already, and he said actually, I'm not sure if this is the pshat, but he just mentioned one word, that oir, that's already implicit in the word oir. Because oir means to be revealed to another, and if you're going to be revealed to another, revelation implies tzimtzum. Who's the other? We are the other. He's not Meidich. And then he said also the other side of the coin, Keli, which is tzimtzum. It means a Keli for oir, not Keli per se, but a Keli for oir. So therefore, to summarize, in Ohr Ein Sof lifnei tzimtzum, latently, it's not obvious, and we're revealing it now, is already the tzimtzum, the keich hagvul. That's the whole point of the oir, not to just stamp God's strut, revelation and infinite, meaningless for him. It's all in order because we should know him in the most intimate, pneumistic way in the Ilam Hazeh. So therefore, already in the Ohr Ein Sof lifnei tzimtzum is Havaya Ulikim. There's a likim there in that darg of Havaya de Le'ela. And Havaya Ulikim is also true post tzimtzum. That in Shem Ulikim, this is not just Helen Vehester. The Ohr is being nimshech lamata. The Ohr is being nimshech lamata. True, it's only a shame, but in the shame lies the roza d'shmei, which we, through Torah mitzvahs, reveal. So in Shem Ulikim de lamata, there's Havaya. And Havaya de Leila, there's Elikim. And that's the deeper meaning of Havaya hu Elikim. Now, Ohr Vav began a whole new contribution to this, as it were, a whole new dimension. We have to get it straight, because it's all based on the pasuk. It's interestingly enough that Chassidus quotes the pasuk of Kishemesh Shemog and Havaya Elikim. It doesn't quote the end of the pasuk, just this. And using the Shemesh and the Mogin. Shemesh is Havaya, Mogin is the sheath, the screen, the shield. But the pasuk continues. Look at, I'm not going to say it inside now, but you need to see Ohr Vav, second line. The pasuk is Mamshich. Chen v'koved yiten Havaya. God will give grace and glory and koved. Lo yimne toiv laheichel b'tamim. He will not hold back good. And the key word is going to be the word good, for those who go with him in earnestness and wholeheartedness, in timimus. The shaila is, what's the connection between the beginning of the pasuk and the end of the pasuk? In the pasuk, it's a beautiful thing, but what is it? So he started saying that first of all we should know that the Zohar says on the pasuk, Kishemesh and Magen Havaya Elikim. I'm not going to repeat all the pratim how this works, but the statement. It goes in the bris. Goes in the bris. Kishemesh Magen Havaya Elikim, which is the unity of Havaya and Elikim. This is the union of the bris kodesh. It's actually connected to Parshas Pinchas and the whole story that happened there at the end of the parsha. What's the union of a bris? A bris is a yichud of Zon Malchus, husband and wife. That's the union of Havaya and Elikim, Mashpia Makabel. And that's the union of, he added, that bris is iskashrus, which is why Yesoid, which is the union of bris and bonding and iskashrus, is described in the pasuk as kichoil bashamayim uva'aretz. And the Zohar says on that, what does that mean? That he unites shamayim and aretz, because that's what the bris is. The union of the bris is by which empathy means to connect and to unite. We become one. Mashpia makabel shamayim va'aretz. So, all to say, this pasuk, Ki Shemesh Magen Havaya Elikim, is also a little bit of a chiddush here. The pasuk is not simply saying and separating the two, that Havaya is like the Shemesh, and Elikim is like akin to the Magen, the screen, the sheath around the sun, but rather the pasuk is saying the unity, talking about the yichud. Ki shemesh u'magna v'alikim is describing the yichud of Shema v'Hashem Elikim. And then we'll understand the hemshech hapasuk. Now, the yichud means, as we explained till now, the whole point of the yichud means that the whole point of Havaya is that we should be known by him. The whole point of Elikim is he should be known to us. All the same kavanah for Havaya Elikim, it's one inyan. Okay, so now we'll understand. We'll soon get to the end of the pasuk, but before that, the next ois will understanding of Magin Avram and Magin David. Why are we talking about Magin? Because the Kishemesh or Magin Havaya Elikim. So what's Magin? Magin Avram is the end of the siyum of the first Barach and Shemon Esrei. Magin David is the siyum of Birchas Haftorah. So he brings a medrash that the Eibishter told David, I will make you equal to the great one Avram, like we end with him. Magin Avram, the Haftorah will end with you, Magin David. What's the inyan? The inyan is, first of all, he says a very big thing. According from Tanya, that the Chatchila, the Eibishter, wanted to create the world with Midas Adin, right? Rashi brings. Rosh Enel Miskayim Shitif Imoi Midas Arachmim. Says the Alter, but where's the Midas Arachmim? So the Midas Arachmim is in the Oises, Al Yidei Tzadikim, and Oises U'Moivsim Shebetayra. So these miracles, this is the Gil of Shem Havaya in the world, Midas Arachmim. And likewise, the Tzadikim, starting with Avraham, and he brings the various Pesukim and Baruch Chazal, that the Tzadikim reveal the Eibishter in the world. Kol Anikra B'Shmi L'Chvedi. It goes on the Tzadikim. Avusachin Tzadikaya Diitke D'Shmi Alei. These are your holy forefathers, or rather righteous forefathers. That my name is called upon them. So starting with Avram, so they are the ones that reveal godliness in the world. That's the point of now Magin Avram and Magin David. Magin is the Helen Vehester. That's the Shem Elikim. That's Betchila, Olav Machshavel, Livus, and Beshem Elikim. And then Rosh Elam Yiskayim. So comes the Tzadikim. With the Tzadikim, the whole gamut from Avram, which is Chesed, to David, who's Malchus. Are we following this? So they're the Magin Avram, Magin Yitzchak, Magin David. The tzaddikim are the ones that in Shem have Elikim, in the union of Shem, in the hell of Hester, they are the ones that are pale, the yichud of Havaya Elikim. And why these two tzaddikim? Because it covers the whole hishtalshalus, meaning the tzaddikim, the way they're nimshach and hishtalshalus from the highest to the lowest, mechesed to malchus. Is that clear? Yeah? Yes? So if you ask me specifically, I'll try to clarify. No?
No, it's fine.
Okay, it's probably just a point that needs... all right? Don't withhold, ask. I'll call upon him, so then he goes on to explain, now he wants to explain the hemshech hapasuk. The hemshech hapasuk is, the pasuk began, Ki shemesh Magin Havaya Elikim, and then it concluded that the Eibush will not withhold good from those who go with him, betomim betmimus. One thing of good. So good is as follows. We find the stira, he brings from the Gemara, stira, Rabbi Elazar, Rami asked the stira, in one place it says, in Nasha it says, Teva Havaya Lakoil. God's good to everyone. And then the pasuk says, Hashem is good, Teva Havaya Lakoivov, to those who place their trust in him. So is it good to everyone or only for those who earn it, who place their trust in him? So he gave a very interesting mashal to answer the stira. The mashal of a person who has a paradise, he has an orchard. So when it comes to watering the orchard, which only requires what? To open the faucet or to whatever it is, the channel that irrigates the... it's one act. It's not a big tircha. It's one act of chesed. Yeah? So the whole orchard is watered. The good trees, the trees that produce fruit, and the other trees as well. But when it comes to hoeing it, tending to it, removing the weeds, etc., he only does that for what? For the trees that are productive. So that's the union of Havai and Elikim. Havai is Ashpa. Ashpa comes to everybody equally. The union of Elikim, Mogen, and now more specifically Mogen, the protection. He adds it like a nuance here. The Mogen, this world is a dangerous place. It's got to be protected. Protected that the Helen of Hester doesn't drag us down, but the Helen of Hester becomes the means by which we megala the greatest truth. Dafkin the Helen of Hester. So we need protection along the way. So the Mogen he's hoeing, he's protecting his tree. Who does that come from? Only through Avodah. That's Tev Hashem L'Koivav. That's the tzaddikim, which you said before. That's tzaddikim and all Torah mitzvahs. That's the avodah of Torah mitzvahs that is megala where in the Mogen in Elam Hazeh the Yichud Bavayin Elikim. We clear this answer, this tira. So mitzat Chesed Shemavaya, the Ashpa creations to everyone. Everything gets created equally, but Mogen to protect from Paronius and to see that the creation should be the way it should be and should end up being Megala, the Rosa Dishmei, that's L'Koivav. That requires Avodah. Are we clear? That's the basic idea. Now continue, that's what we're up to. We're in the middle. No, we finished it. We finished Ois Vav. So he said this is the difference, he says in the language of Kabbalah, this is the difference between Zivuk Chitzoni and Zivuk Pnimi. I'm not sure what Zivuk Chitzoni means. Actually, Begashmis, I don't know what it means. And I said yesterday, it's like a casual encounter, hello, goodbye. So, Zivuk Pnimi is when they become one. The difference is that a casual encounter has no investment. No investment. Meet the person, they're very nice and cordial, and you part ways. But a Zivuk Pnimi, to enter into someone's inner space, as it were, that requires Avodah. And that is what he says here. Toiv havaya l'koivav dafke. Actually, let's begin with Zehu. And I think we're up to the Zehu. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines in the bottom of Ois, the last paragraph of Ois Vav. So the Zehu, kishem yishamog navai likim. Now we'll understand the Hemshech HaPosuk. That the Posuk is talking about the Yichud of Havai Likim, which is the Avodah of Rosa Dishmei, the avodah to reveal where in the Mogen, in Elikim, godliness, which means that we appreciate and reveal that where Hashem is revealed, the power of the Tzimtzum, the power of Gvul, is just as much Him as Bli Gvul is, it's all Him. So the end result is, Chen v'koved yitin avaya, l'yimna toiv l'hoichem b'tomi, will not hold back good. Shayichud avaya likim ba'ofen. In other words, it means the avodah in such a way that a person appreciates that the concealment is only not concealment creating distance. The whole point of the Mogen is that Hashem should be able to be revealed to us in our finite world. That's why it conceals. But that's all it is. But the power of concealment itself, therefore, itself is His Gilui. You understand this nuance? Like Yossi said, so we don't use Shem Havai and Mogen anymore. No, the Mogen remains. The world remains a finite place. We remain finite human beings with all of our limitations. But what's its appreciated? What's the point of it? Because Hashem wants a relationship with us little people in all our limitations. And He wants a relationship in His full glory. So that's the Yichud, that's the Shemesh Havaya is revealed in its full uncompromised glory in the Mogen, which means on the one hand it is screened. It is. But it's not screened in the way that eclipses Him. It's only screened in the sense that we can internalize it, but it's uncompromised. Internalize what? His truth, His being of Enyan Mulvadai. Or again, to rephrase that, what it means is the appreciation that where the Koyach HaGvul, the Koyach HaTzimtzum is Him. It's not something else. He's not hiding behind something else. This Gvul itself is Him. The shame is Him. Even though externally it eclipses Him until we reveal the Rosa Dishmei. Externally it creates a whole system of distance and further and small and concealed and even clip at the end of the whole line. Defiance, denial, rebellion. But at the end of the day, the emes is that the Koyach HaGvul and everything is all Him. So the Koach HaGvul remains, but it reveals Havaya, meaning to say, what does that mean? The Koach HaGvul is all there that he should be revealed to us in our world. Uncompromisingly so. So much so that they are one. Havaya Hulikim, you can't separate. It's God revealed to us. That's the net result. God experienced by us internally in the Yichud Pnimi. So Inyan Shalam Shocha Pnimi Shad Yichud Pnimi. So this is Toiv Hashem L'Koivav L'Yimna Toiv. He will not hold back good. This is a Gilui, this is the emes of good. L'Hochlan B'Tomim, that only comes through Avodah. V'lochein Hamshochas HaToiv He L'Hochlan B'Tomim Davke Al Derech Mashakotzev Toiv Avay L'Koivav. That's the resolution of the contradiction. That Hashem is good to those who place their trust in Him. It's also place their trust in Him. We need trust because it doesn't seem this way. This is also you. This is also your kavanah. We don't see it, but it really comes down to profound trust that everything that happens and happened to me, the world, etc., it's all part of the kavanah, Elyoina, and then with that trust, He actually reveals it as such. And it's revealed b'shleimus and Mashiach comes. Shamshocha zu nasas al yedei avodah dikim Torah mitzvahs. This hamshocha of teva vay lekoivav, of revealing, which equals the yichud of avaya hu elikim, which means revealing godliness in every aspect of our lives. And in the Helen v'Hester sing that this is also part of the kavanah, and this is also Him, and this is also not only will lead to good, but is good. That's true transformation. So that's the avodah, that's tshuva, ilah. So this is all done through Torah mitzvahs, shein yonim hu, la takona, or la sakona, roza deshmei. The whole avodah is, according to Zohar, is to establish the mystery of His name here in this world, not just His name, which is the way it's created at the outset, but the mystery, and it is a mystery. It was such a mystery for thousands of years it wasn't even known. That's how mysterious it was. For thousands of years it was, no, we're here to get out of here, to escape it, overcome it, resist it, and then that place l'mayla. No. Now the mystery is revealed. The kavanah is dafka l'mata, roza d'shmei, sheyimshach ha'pnimi is Hashem, and where should that be nimshach dafka l'mata, and then havayu likim, all is one, and expressive of His essential being. Yeah? Go a little bit further. Did you guys listen to the little clip that I posted? Someone sent me of Yud Tmuz that this Farbrengen, very unusual. That this Nigen Bachal is not sung by the Farbrengen often. Nadir, but you hear the Rebbe singing it. It's very beautiful. It's just 2 seconds. Go back.
Nadir who?
Adiru, yeah. Just go back a few posts, you'll hear it. It's a most, I think, not before or after such a. You see, most people are talking, not even paying attention for the Rebbe singing, with a handful of Siddim there. It's a very moving nigun. Adiru bel yoyne bache batachtoyne. You know that nigun? Adiru bel yoyne. It's sung in Lashon Kodesh and in Yiddish also. If you go online, it's worth listening to it also. Find it on the Nechayach records. It's got to be from the early records. And Beryl Gansberg's father sings it. He was a soloist of many songs, but I just remember as a kid listening. He sings this very, very heartsick. It's a beautiful nigun to listen to. He was a heartsick Yid. As I told you the other day, I didn't know this. I'm just reading this interview which I'm sharing with you, vignettes. But there's a part here which is not written, and I called up Sholem, my mechutin, and he told me, I'll mention it again because I find it murderdig, that in 1958, this is 58, I was just after the war, The Rebbe started in Ufaratsta. That's when the whole Niggun was composed in Eretz Yisrael. As a result of the Rebbe's koch, that's when really Shlichus. So they were younger light. These are the Holocaust survivors. They don't speak English. Yishmael Spalte from Poland and Russia. And Kahanov, what was his name? Chaim
Moshe.
Chaim Moshe Kahanov. So Shalom told me that these three guys wrote into the Rebbe. They're just young families, maybe 1 or 2 kids. They're all greeners, and they wrote in, they're ready to go on shlichus anywhere the Rebbe would send them. That year, one chassid went, 2 went, as far as I know, was Gershon Mendel and Berel Shem Tov. But these guys wrote in too. They were wrote back, certainly you wrote in with permission from your wives. That's number 1. And number 2, they should remain in Crown Heights and devote themselves to tzach, which they all did. They were very involved in the newly created Tzidak Udas Chabad, etc. They were activists. They were activists all their lives. But the readiness to write in, I mean, it's mind-boggling. Friends, shlichus today is not what it was. Today, it's a smaller world, and my children are out in Seattle. FaceTime constantly. I mean, it's not the same, but it's Mesiras Nefesh. I'm not taking away, but it's not what it used to be. Cut off, no phone calls, nothing. Foreign cultures, food, milk, Chalav Yisrael, nothing. 58. It speaks to me of the great love of Chassidim, the great love. The Rebbe kocht sich in it. The Rebbe was signing up. So I'm giving you this when you hear Berel Gansberg's father sing. Adiru Bel Yoinim. Yeah, it's appreciation of who's singing this thing. Okay, let's go a bit further. So till now we're speaking about this, the way these dargas, as it were, Lamaila, they have their parallel by Yidden in Avodah. The Hineksiv, Adam Atem, it's a pasuk. You are Adam. The Dorsha Chazal, and the famous Gemara Yevamis, Abish is talking to Eden, Atem Kurim Adam. You are called Adam. It's a term reserved only for Eden. What's the explanation? The explanation he brings here, the famous Shalah, Al Shem Adam Le'elyin. The word Adam means similar to the one above. The Remez being, because the Neshama is a chelik alakam mimal mamish. Of course, the word Adam also means earth. The whole point being that the Neshama, mamish, what the Rebbe Rashab, that mamish goes both on. It's mamish a chelik alakam mimal mamish, and mamish tangible. It comes where into the guf. At any rate, so all he just want to say this, that Yidden parallel the Eibishter. Mizeh muven. Shegam ba'adam atachten yeshnam dugmas beis Hashem is the vayalikim. We also, the person, the Yid, lamata, is also these 2 inyanim. Kivin shekol inikir b'shem. Since everything has a name, so if the Eibishter has these names, Havayin Elikim, that means, perforce, we have the same names also. Where does a Yid have the name Havayin Elikim? So he says, what are the 2 inyanim? By Eden, Shehem bedugmas beis Hashem is the vayalikim nikroim beis Hashem is Ya'akov Yisrael. That's the union of Ya'akov Yisrael. This was all again. How did the Maimon begin to explain and understand why we're still called Yaakov, even though his name was Yisrael? I'm going to stop here because the story I'm going to share with you. We'll say it now so they can.